exam. Get ready for the dictation. 3, 2, 1, start. The petitioners invoke the doctrine of promissory estoppel and say that the government ought to be held to its word and the exemption granted by the notification of 18th April, 1980 full stop. Promissory estoppel. The question is whether the doctrine of promissory estoppel can be invoked in this case. Full stop. Counsel for the petitioners has taken us through the modern cases on the doctrine of promissory estoppel. Full stop. Motilal Padmapat Sugar Mills, is the high water mark of promissory estoppel so far as this country is concerned. Full stop. There is another decision of the Supreme Court which has of late attracted much attention. Full stop. It is Jeet Ram Shiv Kumar versus State of Haryana, Jeet Ram is in fact a criticism of the liberal view taken in Motilal Padmapat Sugar Mills. Full stop. If Motilal Padmapat Sugar Mills is the apogee of promissory estoppel, Jeetram may be said to serve as a sounding board of warning against the danger of wider extension of this new doctrine by judicial activists. Full stop. This full bench was asked to decide whether this court ought to follow Motilal Padmapat Sugar Mills or Jeet Ram, a decision of three judges in preference to the two cases decided by the bench of two judges. Full stop. Para. It is here that Jitram differs from Motilal Padmapat Sugar Mills, we are not, as at present advised, prepared to commit ourselves to the view that the doctrine can never be applied against the executive in all the circumstances, in all cases, whether involving public interest or not. Full stop. But on the authorities, it is incontestable that against the government in the exercise of its legislative power, estoppel cannot be invoked. Full stop. In Motilal Sugar Mills, it was recognized that where the government owes a duty to act differently, promissory estoppel cannot be invoked to prevent the government from doing so. Full stop. The government cannot be prevented from acting in the discharge of its duty under the law within bracket 646 of AIR 1979 SC bracket close. The legislature or the sovereign authority cannot fetter its freedom of action forever. Full stop. That public interest is supreme is recognized even in Motilal Padmapat Sugar Mills, which marked the high noon of this doctrine. Full stop. The court said when the government is able to show that in view of the facts which have transpired since the making of the promise, public interest would be prejudiced if the government were required to carry out the promise, the court would have to balance the public interest in the government carrying out a promise made to a citizen which has induced the citizen to act upon it and his position and the public interest likely to suffer if the promise were required to be carried out by the government. Full stop. It is only if the court is satisfied on proper and adequate material placed by the government that overriding public interest requires that the government should not be held bound by the promise but should be free to act unfettered by it, that the court would refuse to enforce the promise against the government. Full stop. Thank you.